Hi everyone, in this video I wanted to talk a bit about what I've learned during my first year being fully self-employed. I've written down a list of things on my phone here, so I'm going to keep glancing down. So my name is Sarah and my small business is StickerKitten. I design and illustrate my own range of papercraft and planner supplies like stickers and paper packs and stationery. And in May last year, I decided to leave my corporate job and become self-employed and work somewhere between part-time and full-time on my business. I have 2 young children. It's been a year of lots of ups and downs, and there's been a lot of stuff that I just didn't expect, that I didn't see coming. Being fully self-employed, and I want to go over those things in this video. So I'm not going to talk about practical stuff about, like tax returns or anything like that. It's going to be about the kind of the way it feels and the way it has played out for me. And if you're thinking about becoming self-employed and working on a creative business full-time, or you've just started, or even if you've been doing it for a long time and you feel maybe a bit lost or a bit stuck, or like things are not going well right now, then hopefully there'll be some interesting things in this video for you. And I would love it if you could leave comments if any of this kind of rings true for you too, or if you have any other kind of things that you've learned from your own small business or creative business journey, then I would love to hear about those too. So the first thing I've written down is make time for yourself. So when I left my corporate job and became self-employed, I just had this expectation that I would have so much time for myself because I would be in control of my work, I would be in control of what I did when, that I'd be able to have this really relaxed lifestyle, that I'd be able to fit in all the things that I wanted to do and never got round to. And in fact, the opposite was the case. Because the business then, instead of becoming something that ran in the background, it became something that I actively had to build and work on and improve and get it to make money in a sustainable way. It became really all-consuming. So as well as working all day on the business, and then I'd pick the kids up from grandparents or school and nursery and then continue working in the evening. And I would kind of not take a proper lunch break. I wouldn't really get out of the house. I think I would push myself a little bit close to burnout for the first 8 months. And it was very up and down as well. So as I mentioned, kind of working somewhere between part-time and full-time, I'm kind of covering school holidays and days when they finish school and nursery at 3 o'clock. So it's not a regular routine for me. So I was cramming in work everywhere. Like if I had my daughter with me for a day, when she would have her nap, I would work then. I wasn't building in any time for the stuff that I thought I would automatically get to do. Things like exercise, things like taking longer to prepare a healthier lunch, things like going for a walk. I was used to going for a walk when I took my daughter for a nap in the buggy, but for me to just go out and walk to, get some fresh air and get some light, I wasn't really doing any of that. So I had to really deliberately build that in and make it non-negotiable. So I had to be like, okay, especially now that I'm pregnant, that kind of forced me to think, okay, every day I'm going to build in a half an hour pregnancy workout, and that is non-negotiable. Like I want to do that. I want to have that time. And even though I feel weirdly guilty spending like half an hour, 40 minutes doing a workout, which is obviously a really good thing and a necessary thing, I just feel my brain's like, no, you should be working right now. No, you should be doing this or doing that. There's so many jobs to do. Your to-do list is so long. you have to shut that voice down and be like, no, like I have to build in this time for myself. Like otherwise it's so easy to push yourself too far. Like for me at least it was. So yeah, build in exercise, build in time for eating well, and I also built in time to bake like muffins or cookies or something for the kids on a Wednesday or Thursday, because one of the reasons that I wanted to work for myself is that I had like this vision that I would pick them up from school and I would bring them like a home-baked snack, and then like I just kept beating myself up because that wasn't happening. Like I was working like right to the wire and then rushing out the door, and I was like, I have to change that. I guess at the back of my mind I was thinking like, oh, I'll get to the point where it's not so frantic and I can relax and I can, you know, take it down a notch, and then I'll have time for this. But no, you have to build it in deliberately for yourself from the start. So anything that is like non-negotiable for you, like exercise, healthy eating, anything that is part of what you pictured for yourself, like going for a walk, baking some cookies or whatever it is, build that in. Okay, so that is the first tip. Second one, you can't work like a machine and plan every single thing into a tiny time scale. So one of the things that I kept getting really wrong is that I felt like I had so much to do, or so much that I wanted to do. I would have like a month calendar, and then I would plan out on every single day what I wanted to get done, and then I would break that down. So each week I'd be like, this day is my video day, this day is my artwork day, this day is for working on new product ideas, this day is for like SEO and listings. And I never ever stuck to it, and I would beat myself up so much. I would get so mad that, you know, like this day I was supposed to be doing videos but I wasn't in the mood, and like I would just waste time and then get angry at myself. Or that one day I was supposed to be working on SEO but I hadn't finished my listings from the day before and it spilled over, and then I was annoyed because how could I reschedule something when the rest of the month was completely full already. So what I'm saying is, don't overschedule yourself. If you do like to plan things like that in advance, then make sure you add a ridiculous amount of space into your schedule. Like I tried to do it where I left big gaps and empty days, and it still didn't work out. So at the minute I'm in a place where I don't schedule anything. I plan things in terms of I know what I want to work on next, but I don't schedule them. I don't say I'm going to work on this day, or I'm going to work on this type of thing every Wednesday, because it didn't work for me. And so much unexpected stuff came up, like you know, if one of the kids was ill, then they'd been with me for the day, and that would essentially write off a week because it knocked everything out. And I would be so mad at myself because I didn't stick to my plan. So I guess it took me a long time to realise that the problem was the plan in the end. So yeah, don't overschedule, and also take your energy into account. So you can plan your time to a certain degree, but you can't really plan your energy. So like, especially being pregnant, some days I just really do not feel it. So if I had planned for myself to do like a full-on day of creating video content and a product launch, I wouldn't be able to do it. Whereas, you know, I would have the energy to just sit down at my laptop and do some SEO work, or work on some listings, or do some artwork for stickers. So instead of planning things based on time, I would have kind of in the back of my mind jobs based on energy. So like high energy jobs like creating videos, I would not fix a time scale to them. I would just say, okay, when I am feeling it, this is the video that I want to make next. And then in between, I know that when I am not feeling it and I have super low energy, that the stuff that I can work on is making a difference to the business. So it doesn't matter how kind of crappy I feel in a day, I can always do some artwork and make some sticker sheets. And that for me is satisfying because I'm not doing nothing. and I'm not wasting time, and I'm not beating myself up for not doing the thing that I should have been doing. As part of that, I guess one thing for me was learning how I actually work rather than how I would like to work. So like I said, I would completely plan everything month by month and just be like, yeah, if I got all of this done, that would be amazing. If I, achieved all of these things, I'd be perfectly on track. But the reality is, like, I wasn't working that way, like partly based on energy, partly based on things changing, but also the day goes quicker than you think. You kind of forget basic things like, oh yeah, I have to make myself some lunch, I need to build in some exercise, what if I want to read my book for half an hour? That's okay. So I tried to listen to like my patterns of energy as well. So I start getting restless about 11 o'clock, and I know that that's a good time for me to stop what I'm doing and go and do a workout because I've got some energy. So I couldn't force myself to do that first thing, and I couldn't force myself to do that in the evening when I feel exhausted. But at 11 o'clock, like, it's before lunch and it's not too close to breakfast, like that is a good time for me to fit that in. So I'm trying to listen a bit more to my body and my energy to get the best out of myself, like, so it's not in a forceful way of like, you have to get this done. It's more like a natural rhythm to the day of what works for me. So you have to figure out what works for you. I also learned that I like to change up my work environment. So sometimes I'll work in the conservatory, and I found that I feel so lucky to have a conservatory. It's my favourite room and it's beautiful. And I found that I was working in here a lot, and I was sitting on like the daybed sofa thing and sinking into it and getting backache. So I asked James to build me a mini desk, which he has done, which I love. It fits perfectly in the space. And even though we're also super lucky to have a home office as well, we converted the loft because James works from home, and obviously so do I. I don't know what it is. I don't work up there very often. I don't know, partly because my space is so badly cluttered. I don't feel the creative vibe. But also I need a lot of light. In winter when it's dark, I need a lot of light. In summer when it's beautiful, I want to be bathed in light. So I guess it took me a while to realise as well that I kept gravitating to this space, and I am happiest working in this space. I do sometimes work at the kitchen table, sometimes I sit on the sofa, sometimes I am in the office, and for me it works to change up my environment, sometimes depending on what I'm doing, or sometimes when I want to change tasks. So I am fortunate that I do have these different spaces that I can wander around my house and work in, and if that's something that works for you, then go with it or try it. If you're feeling like you have to sit at one space in your desk all day and you're not loving that, then change it up a bit and see what actually works for you. Third tip, try and find like a tribe, like a community of other creative business owners or creatives, artists, illustrators, whoever, that you can connect with. Now, I haven't actually done this yet. I haven't really found a group of people who I can meet up with, or who I can message, or who I know very well as small business owners, and I really, really, really feel the lack of it. I'm quite a social person, and I think working from home on my own, like my husband is here, he works from home as well, which is great, but I definitely feel that lack of a connection to people doing the same thing as me. Like when I worked in my corporate job, I loved being in the office and I loved talking to colleagues, and even when everyone was working from home after the pandemic, I could feel how important it was for me to be in touch with people who were, on the same level as me, working on the same thing, had the same concerns, the same problems that they were working through. And I haven't found that yet, being like a small business owner. And yeah, I do really feel like the lack of it. Like there's no one to bounce ideas off. You just need someone to like cheer you on, tell you you're doing okay, and just give you some perspective on your business as well. Like I think it's really easy to get completely lost in your own business. It's like you can't see the wood for the trees, but if you have someone just to bounce ideas off, they can see your business in a way that you can't see it yourself because they're not so mired in the tiny details of it. And I've toyed with the idea of like getting a business coach to help me through all that confusing stuff. But to be honest, it's hundreds or thousands of pounds, and sometimes you don't need expensive high level support like that. You just need a group of similar minded people to bounce ideas off. So if you can find that, then do. So for me, I think that's something really important that I haven't found yet. So if you can, then do. Fourth tip, you can expect to feel like you don't know what you're doing a lot. And I didn't expect that. I thought because I had so many ideas and so many plans and so much that I wanted to do, I would never feel lost. But in fact, it's the opposite, because there's so much that I want to do, so much that I want to try, and especially because I have this kind of deadline of August when baby will arrive. I feel like there's too much that I want to. There's too much that I could do, which is a lovely position to be in, to have that creative freedom to think I could make this product, or I could try this type of artwork, or I could take this course, or, but on the flip side, it is overwhelming, and I do spend a lot of time kind of thinking, what am I doing? Which I think is normal from what I've seen from other small business vlogs and behind the scenes type stuff that I've watched. I think it's normal. Like I definitely don't think I'm the only one who feels like they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, I just want to kind of tell you in advance that if you do feel that, then that's okay. And if you don't feel that, you might at times, and that's okay too. I mean, maybe you're really clear on your business. Maybe you make earrings, you sell earrings at craft fairs, that is your thing, you are clear on it. Or maybe you're a children's book illustrator, you take commissions, that's your thing, you're clear on it. But I'm sure there's times when everyone feels lost, or like they're getting everything wrong, or some things wrong, or they don't know what to try next. So I guess the tip here is that it's okay not to know the whole path forward. So especially with kind of papercraft, I know that the industry has changed a lot and is changing. Some big companies have closed down. There's a declining interest in card making, and the economic conditions for small businesses are tough. The climate for artists and illustrators is tough with, AI coming in. There's also things coming up like the general safety product regulations, US tariffs, things like that make it just a really hard market to navigate right now. And I feel like I've had to pivot a lot, or that I should be pivoting a lot. I guess the advice is like, just keep going, just keep working with that balance of things that you love and things that sustain your business money-wise. Tip number 5, don't get sucked into all the marketing for those money-making courses. You probably know the ones I mean, that you've seen on Instagram, like you can make a 5-figure, 6-figure business in 3 months if you pay £1,000, $1,000 for this course. It's going to transform your business into something incredible. There's 3 key things that you're completely missing, all that sort of thing. I think I probably spent a lot of time investigating those types of courses. Like, I haven't spent money on them, so I guess I can't say yes, it was good, or no, it was bad. But I will tell you that I've spent a lot of time exploring whether they were worthwhile or not. And ultimately I decided that I've been running my business since 2016. That's nearly 10 years. I don't think there's anything obvious that I'm missing. I think the people who've hit huge success, it's a mixture of luck. They've had the right product at the right time with the people who want it, or it's down to hard work. They are really super focused. They know what their product is or what their offering is, and they know what they want, and they go at it consistently, persistently, over a long period of time, and they get there. I don't think anyone has succeeded because they've spent a lot of money on a course. The exception I would say is if you're brand new and you're just starting out and there is a ridiculous amount of information out there. So if, for example, you know you want to be a surface pattern designer, you've seen a course, you want to pay the money, take the course, get to where you want to be, all through one kind of source, then that could be worthwhile for you. But if you're a small business like me, you do a lot of different things, you've been muddling along for quite a while, I don't think there's anything massive that you're missing that a course is going to teach you and that you need to spend £1,000 on. Yeah, don't get sucked in, by which I guess I mean not that they're bad or you shouldn't spend money on them, but what I mean is don't feel bad. Don't feel like you've got it wrong or that you're doing it wrong or that you've messed up because you didn't do it their way or that you haven't taken their course. Like you're not missing out. I guess I just felt crappy for a long time because I wasn't making a lot of money. And I was like, well, maybe I should take these courses. But ultimately, I think if I had, I wouldn't be, making like thousands of pounds every day or something like, they try and say in the marketing. So I think just slow, steady, persistent, messing up, trying different things. That is all okay. Don't let all this marketing and advertising make you feel that you're doing your small business wrong. Like there isn't a right or wrong way, okay? And the other thing is that the focus with those is often on making money, which of course is important. Like we all have to live, and if we can make a living doing something that we love with the flexibility to have the lifestyles that we want or that we need, that's really important. But if making like £1 million is not really your goal, if living a life where you can, take a 2-hour walk every lunchtime if you want to, like if that's your goal, or if creating the artwork that you want to instead of being bogged down in commissions, if that's your goal, like think about what it is that is important to you that might not be a monetary target. For me, it is the balance between enough money that pays the bills, which isn't really quite there yet, and the flexibility to be there for my kids, and also the space, like the headspace to be the best mummy that I can be, because I'm not being crushed by some soulless corporation and I'm not, it's hard to get the balance right. But yeah, my goal is not that I want to be like ridiculously rich from my small business. My goal is that I want it to make enough money to pay my portion of the bills and let me choose the hours that I want and need to work without killing myself working super hard on it. The last one, number 6, mindset is so important. So there's a lot of things that I haven't done because I thought, what's the point? There's a lot of things that I have done which have like essentially been a failure or a waste of time. A lot of that stuff can get you down and make you just think, shall I just quit and get a job? Like, I'm not saying yes you should or no you shouldn't. I guess I'm saying that you don't have to let the hard knocks determine what you do next. You have to think about it from a more balanced perspective. So there's ways that I can think about my business that make it look like a failure, and there's ways that I can think about my business that make it look like quite a success. So one of the things that I started doing that's been helping me is to keep a record of those little mini successes. So I write down nice reviews that we get for our products. I write down if I get a good response to an email from a company that I want to license my art to, or if, I don't know, something that I create comes out really well, or if there's something that I can say that I learnt a lot doing it, then just all those little things, just keep a record, because I've never thought of myself as a naturally pessimistic person, but I feel like with this business, I find it easy to drift into like, oh, that was bad, that didn't go well, that didn't sell enough, that wasn't worthwhile. And you so easily forget about, oh, well, actually, today I got a £50 order, and last week I got, 10 incredible 5-star reviews on Etsy and that sort of thing. So make like a concentrated effort to write those things down, and then when you're feeling crappy, like you can look back through them and just be like, oh yeah, like look at all this good stuff that's happened, like good things do happen, and it'll just encourage you to keep going. Yeah, and as I said before, like you are kind of trying to work in a rapidly changing environment. Like there's still a cost of living crisis. There's still things changing rapidly. It's hard for small businesses. As I mentioned before, we have, new legislation coming in around product safety. There's kind of tariffs for selling overseas now to the US. There's all these kind of things to contend with that make it feel like you're kind of really fighting to keep going. Make sure you take the time to not just think positively, like falsely positively, but to think in a balanced way about what is and isn't working, and to be, I'll say realistic because that makes it sound rubbish as well. I guess to have faith in yourself that you can navigate all of these ups and downs, and that there will be ups and downs. And for me, I felt the downs a lot harder than the ups. Like I think when something good happens, it's easy to say, oh, good, that happened the way it should have, that's nice, good, finally, and then move on. And then when things go wrong, it's kind of easy to say, oh, this happens all the time, this is, this product was a failure, this part of my business is a failure, and to write it off before you give things a chance. But just really try and work on, I don't know, like they might be, I've started doing meditation after exercise as well, because I find it just gives me that buffer to feel like some peace and positivity in the day, instead of like the constant grind of like, I'm going to try this next, will it work, how much stuff can I cram in before baby arrives. So give yourself some headspace, and like write down some like cheesy positive affirmations and that kind of thing, like whatever works for you. That kind of thing. I never really used to like the idea of it at first, but I think like since I started doing just like 5-10 minute meditations after my little pregnancy workouts, it has made a difference to those thoughts that pop up that say like, oh, you're not good enough, or there's no point you trying to pitch this artwork because it's not good enough. And sometimes you just have to like shut out those negative thoughts and just be like, yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna try it. It's good enough for this purpose, and I'm on a journey, and I am trying these things, and it's okay to get things wrong. So yeah, work on your mindset. So that's it from me. I just want to say that overall it is tough to run a small business. Don't be too harsh on yourself, and give yourself time to learn and grow and get things wrong. Don't compare yourself too much to other people out there, because that can kind of cripple any kind of progress and positive mindset that you cultivate for yourself as well. So thank you for watching. If you want to share your experience too as like a creative business owner or an artist or illustrator, then please do pop some comments in the comments section below. I do love reading everyone's comments. Bye.